In this video, we're gonna talk about the playoffs. A little video before I go to bed. The playoffs been lit. They've been like the best playoffs in a while, and you know why? Cause the role player ain't in it. Okay, the role player ain't in it, and you really don't know who's gonna win. Okay. Cause you don't know if the Bucks are gonna just outright beat Boston. I know they up, but it's been a good back and forth series. Okay, the Phoenix series been good. They tied up 2-2. CP0 played like trash. The game. The Warriors but they say Ja Morant gonna be out game 4, so that gonna affect it. I just been working and chilling, just working, and then coming home. Man, I had before I get back into the playoffs, man, since October, I've been having bad migraines, and I finally figured out why. Like every morning, during the week, when I go to the gym, I was taking a 5-hour energy drink, and they're like the equivalent to like 3 cups of coffee. And I was taking it every day. And I went to the doctor because I thought it was something, major. So 3 weeks ago, I stopped taking it. I said, man, this just got too much caffeine, I read. And I ain't been having no more headaches. So, but anyway, back to the playoffs. The Warriors, I think the Warriors may win this series due to Ja Morant being out. The Phoenix series is kind of up and down. Now Luka pushed the Clippers to the brink during the bubble. So, and they end up losing. And he did something similar last year, Yeah, I know. I ain't gonna take no more 5-hour energy. But the Bucks and Boston, I think that's the best series. The Heat, so I think the Heat, I hope it be the Heat and Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals. Scottie Pippen James, he at home. And James Harden played like the invisible man. Joel Embiid had to come back with one eye to keep the series. Okay? Because James Harden doing his typical disappearing act, So I still think the Heat gonna win it. The Heat gonna win against Philly, and the Bucks and Boston. I really don't know who gonna win, And Jared love freedom and listen, something like a true. LeBron lovers, they upset at Frank Vogel. Okay, LeBron. Okay, newsflash, folks. The role player ain't in the playoffs. Okay, spoken like a true hater. Okay, y'all blame Frank Vogel. Okay, and LeBron at home, and they've been like the best playoffs in years. Okay. The best playoffs in years. You don't know who's gonna win the title, okay? So, and LeBron lovers that claim I'm NBA fans. I'm a basketball fan. I love basketball. But when LeBron ain't in the player, they diss all the other players, okay? Yeah, and the playoff ratings are up. Nobody want to hear LeBron, the role player, every day. Oh, I'm a victim. He worth $500 million. I'm a victim. America is like slavery. I said, well, you make $600 million role player. What I signed up to be a slave? Okay, So. We don't want to hear that woke stuff. And guess what? The people start wiping the playoff, and the playoffs is good. The East, it's a toss-up where the Heat go beat Philly. Everybody know that. That's not a toss-up. But the rest of the series are toss-ups. Okay, and that's good unless you're a fan of one of these teams. your team ain't in it with Detroit ain't been in years, a couple of years. You just watching it just to see, cause my objective is long as the role player lose, but he ain't even in it because he had Westbrook and Street Clothes and Carmelo and the White Cow, all of them suck, So they are the playoffs and it's a toss up, okay? Yeah, the Warriors might go to the finals, I think they're going to beat the Grizzlies. Ja Morant, they say he's going to be out game 4 due to his knee. They bumped his knee during the game, And, LeBron said he is like sports is like slavery on their barbershop, okay? It's like a slave master mentality. Then why you play if it's a plantation, okay? What plantation did Harriet Tubman get $23 million to pick cotton? No. So how that's slavery, But anyway, the role player ain't in the playoffs, and this like the best playoffs in years. These are the facts, okay? And everybody knows Street Clothes is. Street Clothes is Anthony Bennett Jr., okay? The guy that made the top 75 greatest players, that he ain't better than the White Cow in his prime. He ain't better than Alonzo Mourning in his prime. He ain't better than Mutombo in his prime. Okay? These players should have been in there. Okay? Not Street Clothes. Street Clothes, without the championship, you take away the championship, he's just like a DeMarcus Cousins. Or DeMarcus Cousins that won. That's it. They pretty much the same player. Okay? But he a top 75 player. Come on. But as you can see from the title, we'll get back into basketball in a minute. The great he not even better than Papa Jones. Well, I don't know about that. Not LeBron ain't better than Papa Jones. But Street Clothes, But anyway, let's talk about the late great Kevin Samuels. Everybody should know now about him. We'll get back to the NBA in a minute. He and David Carroll. I think I know about David Carroll like a couple of years ago, but I ain't know he passed. I ain't never really followed him like that. It's been like about 7 years or something since I saw a video from him. But Kevin Samuels, that jump broke out when it broke out Thursday. That on my time around 6 o'clock, saying he dead. I say he dead. And I started to look at I tried to find like reliable sources like the local Atlanta news or something like that, and I ain't seen nothing that whole night. I went to sleep. I went to sleep. I woke up to go to work. I ain't seen nothing about it. And during the day I was looking at it. Then that afternoon, then NBC News and TMZ and all of that said his mom confirmed it. That's just unfortunate. Yeah, I heard about that. He died with no money. I don't know how true that is, but because he just did a show the other day, and he got donations and all of that. So I don't know, and I don't know if he had listed $1,000, but we'll see, I guess. But that's unfortunate, man, because I used to, I started listening to him like in March of last year. I've been hearing about him, but, he never been on my radar, and I saw like people, my friends were sending me links and stuff to it, and I said, man, I need to check him out. So, one weekend or something, I like listened to his show while I was cleaning up the house. and the guests on there, it was funny to me, and the stuff he was saying was true. Supposed to ask for GoFundMe money, so it might be true. He was watching him live IG before he died. Unfortunately, the great Kevin Saget gone with guys. Oh yeah, Myron, Fresh and Fit. Yeah, we'll get in Fresh and Fraud in a minute. But anyway, I saw that. I said he dead. It was like, because he was scribing, and he was, like, I don't think he reached his peak yet, but he did a lot in this short time when he blew up. Because I heard he'd been on YouTube for years, but he started blowing up, especially during the pandemic. People was at home. He switched his thing up, and he blew up. And he wasn't still on my radar till, like I said, last March. Then I started listening to him, and then I went to the backlogs of his lives and listened to the stuff. And a lot of stuff he was saying was true about women and men. Women didn't only, to me, the only women that didn't like it are the women that he talking about. So I ain't never found him disrespectful. Saying that black women ain't nothing and all of that. He go in on the guests when they go in on him, and he get on the brutal truth about themselves. Cause if you 5'3" and you 400 pounds, I mean, no decent man gonna want you. Now would I tell them that in that way? No, I wouldn't. But he tell them that. They call in. He didn't call people. He didn't get the phone book and call people and ask them. They call him. So that's why I'm trying to understand why he was a misogynist when the women called him. And yeah, death don't care. You right, death don't care. And I don't know if I told you that, like, one of my best friends passed away all enough a month last year, April 6th last year. He was just a couple of years younger than me. His brother, who also I consider my best friend, brothers, he called me and said that, man, he found his brother dead. And I went on over there, and that was unreal, And from what I know, I didn't see anything wrong with him, like prior to him dying. But yeah, it come for you no matter what. It just so crazy how that happened. It wasn't from an accident. It wasn't from, he was battling the illness. I heard different stories about how he died. One, he was sniffing cocaine. One, he was with a woman and he died the next day. So we really don't know what went on. Kind of crazy how, even when Kobe died, I saw somebody said on my Facebook, man, I hope the junk ain't true about Kobe. I didn't hear nothing about it. So I went to Google and put on Twitter that they say he reportedly died in a helicopter. And I was like keeping my eye on the news at DSPN. And then within an hour or so later, then they reported it, But the Kevin Samuels thing, it took almost a day before somebody confirmed, because I thought it was a fake hoax, that he died like that. But yeah, he gone, man. He I didn't watch it last show, and usually I don't watch his show live. Because one, when the show go live, I'm usually be in the bed sleep. Like, I just watch it. I listen to it on the weekend. Because, you really don't have to see it. You just listen to it. I have it on the TV while I clean up my room. Or I'm at work working. I have it on my Bluetooth, listening to it on my head, my earbuds or whatever. But, I just, yesterday I unsubscribed. Because, I ain't gonna, he ain't making, he passed away, so, and I highly doubt it's gonna be anybody to replace him. that like him. Now I listen to other people that talk similar stuff, and they pretty good, but it ain't gonna be nothing like Kevin Samuels. In this short time he had all this impact. You know, and yeah, Fresh and Fit, LeBron lover talking about Fresh and Fit is not gonna replace no Kevin Samuels. For one, they hypocrites. Cause I heard about them through Kevin Samuels last year. Cause I didn't know who they were. And I saw when he came up there, he told the women that Subway will be hiring once. Was it last year? Yeah, it had to be last year. Subway will be hiring. Once the OnlyFans thing go down. That's my first time hearing about him. Hearing about Fresh and Fit. And then I said, okay, he get up, he co-signed, so let me check him out. So I saw some clips, and one of them looked like he from the Middle East, and one of the guy looked like he from Barbados or Haiti or something, And the one looked like he from the Middle East. He's screaming at women. These women like thoughts, they thoughts. And he asked them question that thoughts don't know the answer for, but he asked them like they regular women, and they go back and forth, and he kick them off the show. I said, man, Paul Vitt, them guys some clowns. So only time, from that point on, I just don't, they never been on my radar like that. Like when Kevin Samuel was on there, I think he had a falling out with him like late last year or something. But the only time I really watch Fresh and Fit when the Kevin Samuel clips be on there, when he called in. But other than that, I don't listen to him because you could tell they not genuine. And I listen to Ab and Preach, and I listen to Ab and Preach. They constantly exposing them. So these guys clowns. So if people think they gonna take Kevin Samuel, see Kevin's, he go back and forth with the women, but he ain't nothing like the Fresh and Fit thing, like a clown show, like a shock jock thing. Them women don't got nothing going on for themselves about their looks. They club hoppers and thighs. I mean, he just like you look on the channel now. He just every episode just be about 3-4 thighs. Okay. And then they say, OnlyFans, you be on OnlyFans, you a thought, this. They get mad, then they go argue, they kick them off the show. And, people expose them for going in inboxes, asking women for, well, I can't say the P word. Well, I can, but, I don't curse. I don't think. Asking women for sex, I just say that, And Ab and Preach expose them. Playback exposed them. Playback, they exposed them. I mean, it be constantly people exposing them. So those guys, Kevin Samuel legacy got nothing to worry about with them, okay? Cause Kevin Samuel, he had like it usually be regular women, like everyday women call in, and they ask him questions, he answer them, and they just go back and forth, and then that'll be the end of the call, he throwing jokes and stuff like that, but nothing like the Fresh and Fraud. They just clowns, okay? And who else? What the guy name? O'Shea Duke Jackson is Kevin Samuel homeboy. I ain't feeling him, period. So I don't think he gonna replace Kevin Samuels because due to I just don't like his intro got his face on a cartoon. It'd be different cartoons, and his face be on there. He be looking silly and goofy, and and every episode, and I just end the video right there, So, but the man left a legacy, Kevin Samuels, and it gonna be hard for somebody to replace him. Like as far as the stuff he talked about. He was on No Jumper. He was on Joe Budden. He was on Vlad, the Culture Vulture. Like, he was on a lot of shows that people been doing content like this for years on YouTube, and they never been on anything like that, you know. Cause he interviewed Scam Newton, talked to Scam Newton. You know when he said that you know he don't want no bad B, he want a woman that could cook and let her man lead. You know he you know cause Scam Newton from Atlanta, so he met her with. I don't know if they were gonna do a show or something. You know, unfortunately, you know we'll never know now. But you know, I guess if we would try to talk to him to get him on the show. So he was doing a lot of stuff, you know, that YouTubers that in that genre content never did, you know, in this short time. So, you know, so it's gonna be hard for people to replace them, you know. But anyway, yeah, that's unfortunate. You know, but hey, that's life. So I'm sure there's some more stuff gonna come out about it. You know, I heard about he didn't have a lot of money either, but you know, yeah, the COVID news, that was shocking. You know, death is shocking anyway. But you know, out of all the people you would think that would die that day, Kobe Bryant was like wasn't even on my radar. You know, and you know, it's been 2 years, and you know, because he was young. You know, but hey, but let's get back into the players. We'll just I guess freeform it. But well, you know, Ab and Preach, I listen to them. You know, my LeBron loving friend, he called them Bert and Ernie for some reason. You know, because he like Fresh and Fit, and I, you know, when the Kevin Samuel news called out, Jerry called me and told me about it. Well, we were talking about it. And he said Fresh and Fit did. I said, man, Fresh and Fit some. Well, I can't say what I told him, but Fresh and Fit ain't it frauds. I just say it like that, you know. Yeah, I'm gonna miss him too, man. He made some, you know, some good content. But I said, man, Fresh and Fit some frauds. You know, they using it to capitalize off this, you know, and they ain't genuine. And then I showed him, you know, because he always be the person, oh, that's not true, that's not true. So I showed, I the day before that morning, I sent him clips, the videos of him, of Fresh and Fit getting exposed, you know. I just was sending them. And his summary of all of that is, Ab and Preacher, Bert and Ernie, you know, they Bert and Ernie, they need to shut up and they living in their mind rent free, which none of that is true if you watch the videos. Okay? The Lakers about to trade LeBron. Yeah, and people were celebrating that Kevin Samuels was dying. LeBron's a coach and a team killer. Yeah, everybody knew that. He had like, how many coaches he have? This supposed to be the GOAT now. He had all these coaches getting fired and leave and all this other stuff, you know. But yeah, man, people celebrate. It was only but the women that that Kevin Samuels was talking about, you know. They got 50 children. They 5'4". They 290 pounds. Okay. And they want a high end man, okay, and they can't even get a regular guy, okay, because they got all these red flags, you know, and Kevin Samuels just called them out. He don't search for these women. They call him, okay. Why these women that celebrating the death? These women called him. They connected his Instagram live and ask them questions, okay? He don't seek out these women, okay? And they be 400 pounds, they be 300 pounds, okay? And hit the wall and say no man, they looking for a good man. And then he just asked them, he said, well, how many kids you got? They say, I got 4 kids. How many baby fathers? I got 4 favorite baby fathers, 4 kids. He asked her, well, why you marrying them? Oh, I didn't, you know, I went in love with them. Then he just asked, well, why you had a baby by him then? You know? How that make him misogynist by asking him a question? Because I asked that question. I said, okay, you want to be married and find a good man. You had four kids by 4 different men. Why you ain't marrying any of them? Well, they ain't one husband material. Well, obviously they ain't daddy, they ain't father material either. You know? So they be logical questions. Then they get mad. You know, like him dying ain't gonna change. These women who celebrating it, him dying ain't gonna change none of their situation unless they better themselves. He get at the men too. See, they say he only get at the women. See, men call in too, but the difference is it rarely be a lot of men calling. And then two, when men call in, he be brutal honest with them. You know. The difference is the men, they take what he say and try to apply it. They don't get bit. Well, some probably do. But out of 10 men he'll have on the show, 8 of them will take what he say. Okay, man, I need to get a better job. I need to hit the gym. I need to, you know, try to make more money. I need to find a skill so I can get a career, you know, and then find a good woman. They'll listen to him and take what he say and try to use it. You know, it'd be out of the 10, it'd be 2 of them that say, "Oh, he don't know what he's talking about." But the women that call in, he tell them what they need to do, or just give them a realistic, like you got 5, 6 children and 38. I mean, chances you find a good man are slim, okay? And they should know that, you know. And then I was talking to Lil Jerry about this. And the women calling, they ain't calling because they can't get sex from men. Because we obviously know they can because they got 6 children. They call in because they want a good man as far as relationship and marriage. So he get them advice dealing with that, you know. And instead of taking what they say, they get mad. Like the 10 women that call, 8 of them will get mad, you know. They 400 pounds, they got 6 children, okay? And they want a man to take care of them and 6 children. He said, well, no good man or high value man, quote unquote, gonna look at you and choose you as a wife. And out of 10 women he tell that to, 8 of them gonna get mad, okay? And the other 2, they said, well, okay, I ain't gonna get no, well, I at least need to find a decent man. The 2 out of 10 gonna look at that and use the information. The 8 gonna get mad at him and be happy when he die, okay? So that's why it come off as he a misogynistic. Because the men take the information he give them and try to do something with it. The women get mad, okay? You know, and he tell them, are you a 10? Now, don't get me wrong. Now, some of the women that he interviewed do be fine. Some of them do be fine. Not all of them now. I don't think I saw a 10 that he interviewed, you know, as far as looks. But, you know, there was some 8s and some 9s and sometimes, you know. And that he interviewed, and then when he started talking to him, you could tell why they got a man. They crazy, you know. Yeah, I think if the man win the next game, they're gonna win. You know, you just telling them they all didn't have a shot again with Chris Brown. They thought they were 10. Now, like I said, like some of the women he interviewed do be fine, okay, or good looking. But, you know, it's something about them, you know, that the reason why they don't have a husband or a man, you know, either they shallow or, you know, something like that. But, you know, it's a big hit for YouTube, him being gone, you know, because I think, you know, as far as the black YouTube, I mean, he was going to be like one of the top ones, if not the top ones, you know. Because he did all this in 2 years, you know. And he was relatively young in the big picture, you know. What's going on? You know, they ain't want to change. Yeah, they ain't want to change their mindset. Now I think I told you this before, folks. Um, um, in 2018, I was 210 pounds. You know, I was big. I got big because I did it with the work, and I stopped playing ball. I stopped exercising. I was like my heaviest was 210 pounds in 2018. Now this was way before Kevin Samuels came out and did videos about this. You know, I was tired. I was, you know, big, and I said, man, I gotta do something about this just for myself, okay? And I started hitting the gym, you know, for 3 days a week, and then I increased to 5 days a week. That's the most I go. You know, it may be 6 days some week, but that's very rare. And I started hitting the gym, and I changed my diet, and I'm in better shape now than I was when I was younger, in my eyes, you know. So it's a mindset thing, like you said. See, if I was a woman, like the women that Kevin Samuels talk about, I'll be 210 pounds, and I just think ain't nothing wrong with me. It's them, you know. And I'll be mad and stuff that I can't, you know, if I was a woman, I can't find a man and stuff, and I'm 210 pounds, you know. I was looking like Oliver Miller. Yeah, I would be it, you know. So, you know, I mean, you know, he blunt when he say the stuff, you know. Some people say, you know, you go, you know, cause like some women say, oh, it ain't about what he say, how he say. That shouldn't matter for the most part, okay? You know, now I ain't never saw him tell the women you a loser and, you know, you a failure, you a loser, you know, stuff like that. He just tell them that, you know, you got 6 children there, you just 31. I mean, chances you find a high value man is slim, you know. That's the truth. Okay? Like I'm 5'9". Chances of me, you know, younger, chances of me getting in the NBA is slim. Better yet, chance of me playing NFL is slim. Okay? That's just the reality. If I go to an NFL field and say, hey man, I want to try out, okay, in my height and whatever, and I get to scroll it, and the man said, well, NFL is just for you. I can't get mad at, man, these are NFL scouts. They say, well, you ain't good enough to be in the NFL. They just telling me, you know. So I need to take that information and just try something else, you know. The Kings, Jahir Mike Brown. The Kings been sucking about 15 years, okay? Since Chris Webber them left, you know. And the Kings been sucking. I mean, on paper, like, we have a good ticket. They had Mike Lowry, you know, before he became Mike Lowry. Isaiah Thomas, DeMarcus Cousins, you know, throughout their history. And those were pretty good players. You know, they went to other teams and became good. Well, DeMarcus Cousins was good with the Kings. They just sucked. But, you know, Isaiah Thomas went on and did good things. And Mike Lowry. Kyle Lowry went to the Raptors and, you know. But better not mention thing about them being fat. Yeah. You know, short men, you know, my thing is, I don't have, like, as far as height. See, because men, you know, we simple, okay? Now, there are some guys that like big women. I know some personally that like big women. Like, I don't know if they prefer big women, but, you know, like, if, I don't know, if a scissor or something come to their room, I don't think they go keep them out of bed, but, you know, they like big women, like Lizzo and all that. I say, Lizzo, that's not my cup of tea, okay? You know, there's some men that like that, okay? There's some men that see fat Lizzo acting like an idiot and wearing all those stupid clothes, and they get turned on by that. There's some men that like that. Okay, I ain't gonna. I know some of them, you know, but they might. But on average, most men do not want a Lizzo. Okay, you know, and who win the NBA title? I would like the Suns to win. I would like the finals to be the Suns versus the Heat. Or the Suns versus the Celtics. But you know, Giannis is a beast, man. I mean, the Bucks, but Middleton hasn't been playing. So, you know, if they doing okay without him now, but in order for them to win, they gonna need Chris Middleton. Okay. So that's why I say the Bucks per se. So I think the Heat might my wish would be the Eastern Conference final be the Heat versus the Celtics. And the Celtics finally go to the finals, you know. And they play Phoenix. And then I think Phoenix will win if they don't pull a choke job or nobody don't get injured. You know. Watch out for Golden State too. But yeah, so my status there, because I dated women who taller than me and shorter than me, not like a dwarf. I don't think I could see myself dating a dwarf, you know. But you know, generally women shorter than men, and you know, I got a thing for tall women. Like some of the women in the WNBA fired as I don't know what. Okay. So I have no preference with height, you know, and for women. You know, a dwarf, I probably won't date a dwarf, you know. But if they shorter and taller, I don't have no preference when it comes to that. If they fine, you know, they fine. Yeah, you know, the Warriors got their spirits, and you know, Curry back, Clay ain't playing like Clay from old, but he's still back. Draymond and you know, Jordan Poole now and Wiggins. You know. So as far as the team, the Warriors got like the best team. But you know, well, we seen them before. I'm just trying to think out the box here by saying the Suns and the Celtics, and the Suns go to win it. You know. Yeah, I'm 5'9". I mean, cause I kind of women that were taller. I mean, they were like supermodels and stuff. You know. But there's some guys that don't like tall women because they taller than me. I said, well, they are more tree to climb. That's my way of thinking. You know. And but you know, hey, it's different strokes, different folks, I guess. But yeah, the NBA been good, man. The NBA been good. Like the mid 2000s and now, you know, they're like the best basketball, you know, like, cause you don't know who gonna win, you know. If like I said, unless it's your favorite team in the playoffs, like the person looking from the outside, like me, you don't know who's gonna win. Cause each team, it really ain't no super team, you know. Which I think people getting away from that. Just look at Boston, look at Phoenix, you know. CP3 going to the Phoenix didn't make them a super team, you know. Look at the Bucks. You know, Chris Middleton came from Detroit, by the way, and Detroit Pistons. Look at the Heat. Cause when Jimmy Butler got to the Heat, I said that he just went there because of the money. Because the Heat will be a playoff team, but I don't think they're gonna be a finals, a championship contender. And he proved me wrong, you know. And so I hope this gonna be a continued trend. I think Giannis put this to bed last year that, you know, you could just have a team get free agency here and there, but no kind of big time free agent, you know, and just build a team and draft and stuff and just go from there. You know, so that's why I'm glad that Giannis won the way he did, you know. Because they show everybody that you don't need a super team to win the title, okay? And with LeBron, you know, he not going to be playing within, I think he going to retire like in a couple of years. So this super team thing is slowly going away. Just look at the playoffs. Look at the teams in the playoffs. There's no super team in my eyes. You know, there's no super team. Just look at all the teams play. There's no super team. Okay? You know. And you could say the Warriors, but the Warriors, they weren't no super team because they drafted Clay, they drafted Curry, they drafted Draymond, Poole, Wiggins. He wasn't necessarily a draft bust. To me, he wasn't a draft bust, you know. But you know, he was just a part of a deal, and he became an all-star. So that's not a super team, because I don't consider you draft a player being a super team, you know. You know, so yeah, man, but Memphis, they tied it. And they better, you know, CP3 play like trash. And you know, they better shape up, you know. Cause hey, who knows? The Mavericks could make it to the finals, you know. They don't play on defense. Well, Luka don't, but hey, you know. Yeah. See, yeah, organic super team. So if they draft 4 players, they all go to All-Star game. I don't consider that a super team because they just good at the draft. You know, like the Warriors before the ran. You know, they draft. You know, Iguodala did get drafted by them, but you know the core pieces primarily were drafted to the Warriors. You know, so in my eyes, they weren't a super team. You know. And then LeBron, if y'all keep saying LeBron did a super team because Boston did it. Listen, Boston only won 1 title, okay? And 2, Durant, Pierce, and Ray Allen. All them guys are like in their 12th year, 13th year. They played 10 plus years, all of them, up to that point, okay? So it wasn't like they just 3-year players. They rookie contract over. They draw it up. Okay. So and then also they only won 1 title. They ain't like they just dominated the league for 4 years. Okay. So that was crap. Where y'all LeBron never say that. You know. But all right, y'all. I'm getting kind of sleepy, so I feel lay it down. All right, man. Rest in peace, Kevin Samuel. You will be missed. I don't think anybody gonna replace you in my eyes. And I do another video when the conference finals take place, probably. So with that said, that's it.